What is up, Earthnoids and Space Noids? I am just a simple new type. Have you ever wondered if Gundam has any what-if stories like Marvel or DC? Yes it does. Today we will explore side story of Gundam Zeta. This asks the question, what if Char joined the Titans and Amuro joined the AEUG? We will learn how a small change during the 1 Year War will alter the course of the Universal Century. Let's not waste any time and let's get into this. New Year's Eve, UC 0079, the Battle of Abaoa Qu. Things play out similarly. Amuro ejects and heads into the asteroid. He goes out on foot and finds Char. The two begin fighting and stab one another. Sayla tries to stop them, along with Bird Ghost Lala. The asteroid begins falling apart and they all split up. Amuro heads to the core fighter, Char kills Kycilia, and Sayla meets up with Whitebeam. Everything plays out as usual, but here's the split in the timeline. Amuro detaches the torso to get to the core block system. When he did that, the torso flew off into space. In Char's deleted affair, Char would flee Abaoa Qu while protecting Minafazabi. But this time, as he is fleeing, they run into the Gundam torso. Char gets a Zaku to capture it. Char now has his hands on the Gundam. Post-war, EFF had the veneer of peace. The things soon went into disarray. Along with this, Zeon remnants refused to give up on the war and maintained power throughout Earth. With the rise in Zeon remnants came the rise of the secret police, the Titans. One thing to remember is that this what-if story was written in 1988. Operation Stardust is a product of Stardust Memory, which is a prequel and wasn't released until 1991. So like the original Zeta, the creation of the Titans wasn't a direct result of Operation Stardust. It's more realistic. It's just bureaucratic creeping of scope of power over time. Just take a little bit away until they have nothing. Although an emotionally motivated agenda created by a terrorist attack like 0083 is also very realistic. Outside of a colony, Hyzax, Gems, and Doms are attacking the Titans and Mark IIs. They're being led by a Hyakushiki Kai. The MSR 00100 Hyakushiki Kai is originally a part of the Zeta Gundam mobile suit variations. For the most part, it has general improvements all around. One thing that is drastically improved is the flexible wing binders and thrusters. It also has the gold beam coating and a balut system. The Boa BRM 87 beam rifle with a 2.8 megawatt output, a clay bazooka, and a beam Gatling gun. It also has a pair of pulse laser guns on its head, which functions similar to Vulcan's. They head into the colony to take out the remaining Hyzax. One man ejects and goes on foot. He hides. Out of the shadows comes the Hyakushiki Kai pilot, Quattro Begina, in a Titan's uniform. He knocks out the man. Quattro meets with Bask. It has been 1 year since he started working with the Titans. Bask thinks that he is still loyal to Zeon and growing soft. Quattro claims that he has severed his past. The AEUG is growing sympathy amongst the people and he must take them out as commander of the Titans. Bask threatens him, saying he will get this done swiftly if he values his sister's life. He walks into a room where the AEUG soldier is being interrogated. He says that he is Char Aznable, lapdog of the Titans. He slams his head onto the table. Quattro says that he bit his tongue and is useless, but I'm pretty sure that killed him. Jared walks in and refers to Quattro as Char. He tells him not to do that. Quattro heads to the spaceport. Out in space, the AEUG are about to attack a satellite. One of these soldiers is Chief Petty Officer Camille. One thing to note is that in this timeline, the Titans are actually using the Mark IIs and the AEUG are using Marasais. Remember, the Marasais were originally made for the AEUG, but given to the Titans to get off of Anaheim Electronics' back. Out in Montana, Quattro lands and meets with Amuro Ray. The two talk in metaphors about being old war dogs. The AEUG team begins their drop down to Earth. Amuro pours Quattro some bourbon. Wait, what in the disco stew is Amuro wearing? With the chest out and everything. Even though the war is over, the Federation is pumping Minovsky particles everywhere to disrupt communications. Quattro hesitates before telling Amuro it is the Gundam. He tells them that Zeon has the Gundam data and gave it to the AEUG, not mentioning that it was him. He did this to get it away from the hands of Zeon remnants. Zeon invested in new type research. He sarcastically ponders what happens if the new type research from Zeon and the Gundam data come together. They can make quite powerful weapons. The AEUG moves in. Bask is having a nightmare about being electrocuted by Zeon soldiers during the 1 Year War. He wakes up to his underlings telling him that the AEUG are making their move. In this version, Bask sits in a moving captain's chair. This shock torture from the 1 Year War seems to be the cause of some partial paralysis. Camille was left behind for the second drop. He is in an Ashimar, which is operated by the AEUG in this universe. As he makes his drop, the AEUG ship is attacked by the Titans. I also can't find any information on this new AEUG ship, not that it really matters in a few moments. Camille wants to go back to help them, but the crew wishes him luck before being destroyed. Gundam Mark IIs begin their assault on the inside of the colony. One Marsai pilot is able to take out the Mark II. Bask doesn't have contact with Quattro. He calls Jared. It seems Jared's real role is to keep an eye on Quattro. Bask is then informed that the transports have been taken out by the AEUG at point 280. This happens to be Amuro's location. He tries to get a direct line with Montana. Quattro tells Amuro that he hears the AEUG are working on something called the Zeta Project, and many of his former comrades are working for the AEUG. He is mad that Quattro seems to be trying to recruit Amuro, and he begins yelling at him. Quattro makes his leave before realizing that the Titans have Sayla as a prisoner, the same way Amuro is currently a prisoner. As Quattro makes his leave in his plane, he runs into Camille in the Ashmar and some Hyzax. Quattro retreats to find something to fight with. Soldiers lock down Amuro. They don't tell him what is happening. Petite mobiles go out to defend. They are nothing compared to the AEUG's mobile suits. Camille sends an open message looking for Amuro. He sees an enemy and begins smashing a building. Camille didn't seem to expect that. Did the guy just spook Camille? I think Camille just flinched and killed people in the process. This hits the side of Amuro's estate. Everyone falls back from the explosion. Amuro gets up and knocks out an EFF guard. Camille spots Amuro. Meanwhile, Quattro runs into the Garuda-class ship, the Sidori. It is Titans operated and under command of Jared. Quattro tells them about the AEUG's attack. He comes in hot for landing. Quattro and the Garuda launch in the Mark IIIs on base jabbers. The RX-178R Gundam Mark III is the evolution of the Mark II. This unit has an upgraded backpack with some form of booster binders. My guess is that this is built off of the data collected from Quattro before he upgraded to the Zero Shiki Kai. It is equipped with 60mm Vulcans, a beam saber, a beam rifle, a hyper bazooka, and a shield. The remaining Mark IIs are told to pull back on the battlefield because the 6th Aerial Assault Division is coming in to help. Marsais are attacked by a transformable mobile suit. It is the Sturmjäger. The ORX 005EX Sturmjäger was developed from the GAP plant. It matches the speed of fighter jets. It has external boosters and can leave Earth orbit without any assistance. It has hind legs that bend outward. I'm not sure if it retained its movable booster, but it does have a beam rifle. Another weapon are shoulder-mounted mega cannon gun pods. This unit was also featured in Mobile Suit Gundam, the revival of Zeon. The Sturmjäger begins tearing through the AEUG's mobile suits. While making an escape with Amuro, Camille goes, "What's that smell?" Amuro tells him that it is him and he smells like alcohol. He seems to drink hard in this universe. He also is more nihilistic. He doesn't want to fight for anyone anymore. All sides seem like the same to him now. Camille is a former Zeon and an orphan in this universe. He started fighting much younger and is already a commissioned officer in the military, unlike the Camille we know. Camille calls Char a traitor to Zeon for being a lapdog to the Titans. The AEUG itself comes off more as a Zeon remnant group that is struggling to grow. They head to Hickory so they can head into space. Some Titan members get sights on the Ashmar and informs the Sidori. Camille lands in Hickory and Amuro is met with Granton, who is an AEUG member. Camille wonders what will happen to the people that are MIA. Commander Clamp tells them that they will be left behind. Camille is still anti-authoritarian and anti-adult in this universe as he fights with his commanding officer. Granton sends an encrypted laser comm to Granada. Meanwhile, in space, someone is testing the new Z Gustav. The TMS-007X Z Gustav is state-of-the-art technology originally developed by Zeon using the data obtained by the Gundam during the Battle of Abaoa Qu. This is the combined effort of New Type Labs data mixing with the Gundam data. This is also the direction in which the Zeta project was shaped. It is a Gundam with a mono eye on its forehead, which still allows it that Gundam face and V-fin. It's a Gundam with a 5-head. This unit has a Wave Rider mode, and we could assume it would share similar weapons to Zeta Gundam, including a beam saber, Vulcans, a boa beam rifle of the sorts, and possibly a megaparticle cannon. It may or may not still have a biosensor, but considering this evolved from Zeon, they might have went all in on the Psychomu system. It pulls into the hangar next to the Gay Dry. The MAN-010 G3 Gay Dry evolved from the Elmith. Now what also evolved from the Elmith in the real timeline is the Qubli, and this looks like this universe's Qubli. No information about this unit is available, but it clearly has 2 shoulder binders and 2 beam sabers. It may also have what looks like 4 bits, which means this has a Psychoma system as well. Unlike the original QBLE, this variant can transform into a mobile armor mode. Having the Gundam battle data and the Zeta program data, they were able to integrate this new technology into the unit. Guarding the base are goblins and griffins, which we won't even talk about because there's nothing about these guys. In the background is a Big Zam being resurrected. And that will do it for this episode. Unfortunately, this never continued, and this is all we got. According to an interview with Kondo, the art director, if this were to continue, it would focus on Camille as he fights various battles across Earth, eventually becoming the pilot of the Z Gustav. Meanwhile, Amuro would settle his rivalry with Char, not as a pilot, but as a person. Ultimately, the two would confront one another in the Burning Federation Assembly, I assume in Dakar, with guns drawn. The sound of the gunshots would bring an end to the story. I wasn't able to find a source on that, but it was in the wiki, so do with that what you will. This is a nice little insight into a world that could have been. I wish there were more Elseworld stories like this outside of Giren's Greed. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember that the timeline could have had Drunk Amuro. That would have been amazing. Peace.